We turn to the New York City hotel maid who says Dominique Strauss-Kahn sexually attacked her. She is now speaking out for the first time, and in a Newsweek magazine interview, she tells her story of the alleged encounter with the former head of the International Monetary Fund. The Sofitel chambermaid who accused one of the world's most powerful men, Dominique Strauss-Kahn, of sexual assault and attempted rape, now has a face and a name. Nafissatou Diallo, 32, of Guinea, has broken her months-long silence, saying because of Strauss-Kahn, they call me a prostitute. I want him to go to jail. Strauss-Kahn was placed under house arrest last May, but when questions about Diallo's credibility and inconsistent testimony threatened to bring an end to this sensational case, prosecutors were forced to release him earlier this month. Recent reports about Diallo's troubled past are clearly a motivation for her to end her silence. Diallo admitted she lied during an asylum request and has a relationship with a convicted drug dealer. Strauss-Kahn has pleaded not guilty on all counts, and his attorneys released this statement to CBS News about Diallo, saying, quote, "The number of media events is exceeded only by the number of lies and misstatements she has made." And joining us now is John Solomon, news director of Newsweek, which got that first interview with Dominique Strauss-Kahn's accuser. Good morning to you, John.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm doing well, so let's get right into this. Why now do you think she would come forward with her story?
I think there are two factors. I think the first one is that the relationships with the prosecutor has really deteriorated in the last few weeks as they've dug into her background and questioned her credibility. And then I think a second thing, which she said very pointedly in the interview, she was tired of being sullied up in the tabloids, being called a prostitute or a money digger. And she wanted to correct the record of who she was, so she put her name and face to her accusations.
Given that objective, the prosecutor has said there were inaccuracies, inconsistencies in her stories. Did you get the impression that she filled all of those inaccuracies in this interview and that that was her primary objective?
She definitely went into great detail about the attack, and when she did, it was a very emotional moment. At one point, I remember her dropping down to her knees as she reenacted what went on. She was very specific. It tracks everything that our reporting had led to earlier, so it seemed like a very consistent story to us, at least regarding the attack. When you ask her about her background and other things, she's a lot more reluctant to talk.
Speaking of the emotion, though, the writer actually, you say here, there were forced tears involved. Did you get the impression then that she was telling the truth or that there were some theatrics at play as well in her discussion?
I think that's for others to really decide. I think the thing that we noticed was that she had to tell this story over and over again. I think she made a couple comments on the side later, just how many times people have asked her to keep telling the same story over and over again. I think she was uncomfortable at times, and she paused, and you couldn't tell if she was about to cry or not. But when you get to the point of asking her about the attack, there's a moment of drama that felt real.
What struck you the most then from the entire interaction?
This is the question that we asked early on, which is, are you in this for the money, or what would be justice for you? And the palpable anger that I want this man to go to jail for what he did to me was unforgettable and uncertain. That was the uncertain message of her interview.
There was no money involved here doing the interview with Newsweek. Was there any reason you believe that she came? Obviously, this is a big get. What reason do you believe she came to Newsweek then to tell her story?
Her and her lawyer said that we had done a good job of just following the facts. Very early on, we got the hotel key card records, and we really described in detail what went on as best as we could, just following the facts. And I think that put them at ease that we were so familiar with everything that the prosecution had that they felt comfortable talking to us because we knew what we were talking about. Wednesday,
there will be another round of meetings with prosecutors. Where does the case legally go from here?
I think the thing to watch for, I would not be surprised if Diallo and her lawyer this week file a lawsuit, which will throw another wrinkle into an already topsy-turvy case.
All right, John Solomon, we appreciate it. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.